I love that. I love that wave. That effect is so cool.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Oh, good, good. All I'm saying is it's time to go. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, everybody. I know. It's a bit much, and apparently my computer wanted to make me a non-playable character, so I'm dark as all get out right now. So I'll fix that. But welcome to the next episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Mighty Vicious. And with me today, we have someone who doesn't want to be referred to as the CEO of the lobby lotion, or the lotion lobby, excuse me. The lotion CEO of the lotion lobby. We have Jamie James, the Duke, the winner of the game of scones. Was that what we were going with?
It
Game
was.
of
Yeah,
scones?
it was.
Okay. So yeah, that's where we are with that. And there we go. Now you can select me to fight off all your haters. And with us today, our special guest, we have AVNDR. For those who do not know, a few weeks ago we showed gameplay for our pick of the week from the Hallows Eve, which was Vestige, and this is the creator of Vestige. So
Happy to be here.
thank
Thanks for
you.
having me come on the show.
Hey.
I mean, your game just blew us away. We had to get you on the show to talk about it.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
talked about it on the show, and then immediately after the show, I
Yeah.
sought you out because there was
That's
something
sick.
in your game that made me extremely happy. But we'll get to that. So
Yeah.
we get to this point now where we can talk about you, or better yet, let you talk about you. Tell us, who is AVNDR?
Oh boy. All right. Okay. So I consider myself a lot of things. A filmmaker, musician, songwriter, artist. I do a lot of stuff. I have a lot of hats. A lot of different things I do for work. But yeah, generally, I think more than anything, if I could put it all under one umbrella term, it would definitely be creator, which is why I gravitated to dreams so much, because you can anything that I've done in the past, like with creating, ends up like just being so fluid and wonderfully easy in dreams. So yeah, it started out just being like learning music and getting into songwriting and everything, and then eventually decided I needed a plan B, which ended up trying out video stuff. So eventually interned at a recording studio for a while, ended up being their video guy to make music videos, and then I've kind of branched out from there into now more like some corporate stuff, but also I'm working on a documentary currently.
Oh wow.
Working on a couple albums as well to keep that ball rolling. So I do a lot of stuff. I'm kind of kind of all over the place, and then I'm always dipping into dreams and making stories that I could only ever make in dreams. So
Mm.
yeah, that's a synopsis for myself.
Well, all of that is very evident through Vestige.
Mm.
Like, there's a reason that I've seen a lot of people, use dreams for games, and Vestige is a game, but at the same time, when I was playing it, because as everyone knows now, I don't necessarily like horror as a genre. It's very rarely done well, and when I played Vestige, I didn't like. It had elements, but what was the strongest piece of it, what to me, was just how well of a production was being put on, from the technical aspects to the storytelling to like the character development within the time that you have with the game, which ultimately is really not that long. But
Yeah, it's
there's
only like 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, but there's so
Depending.
much packed into every piece of it's such a solid project. And
Thank you.
And so, like, I knew from then I needed to speak with you because I felt we were kindred spirits. I felt like,
Hell yeah.
I felt like I was like, I feel like this guy is like me, and I don't feel that way in dreams a lot. Because, like I said, most people deal with games, but at the same time, like, most of the things that I would be attached to and that I am attached to are very narrative driven. And so this really, if you don't mind me saying, I felt inspired by
That's awesome.
This awesome work. And I hope you, because I know all artists hate their work, like it's always what's next and what can I do better, or I didn't do that right. But I hope you take a lot of pride in this game because it is really, really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean,
no,
sorry, carry on. No, please.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the cinematography within Vestige is so well done. The second that you turn it on and you start playing it, you immediately know that this is a well-produced product. From the get-go, you're instantly drawn into it by the pure quality that it's been developed in. And that's what sucked me in straight away. But the main thing for me that just really made me go, wow, was the corridors and how they move is absolutely insane. I don't know how you've pulled off that style of fidelity within Dreams, but it is absolutely flawless and it is to be applauded. It's my favorite feature in the whole game. I just wish I could just walk through corridors of it, keep moving left and right, up and down. It's so good. So well made.
Thank you. Yeah, it's yeah. Thank you so much, guys. It's cool because like I made this for the jam for Project Genesis jam back in, oh man, what was that, July or something?
Yeah, it was a while ago. He was offering prize money and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, and like I was mostly out of work at the time, so I was pretty much like entirely, like I do a lot of freelance stuff, so I was just kind of like in a dry spell. And I was pretty much every day, like, would wake up, get on Dreams, work on this concept, and, like, stop playing later in the evening, like, to just, like, clear my head. It got to the point, there was one point where I was just like, I can't stop thinking about this. I need to stop thinking about this, but I can't stop. Like, what do I do? I guess I'll just keep working on it. Like, so yeah. It was actually really cool because, and what I'm getting to is like I really appreciate you guys looking at it and saying such kind things about it, because when the deadline for the jam happened, there was definitely, like, I felt a little left behind because I'd posted it and everything, and then they posted like some playthroughs of the different ones and everything. I was just like, it kind of sucks to hear like absolutely nothing about it after that. And it didn't get a lot of attention either when it dropped. Like I had like some decent feedback here and there, but for the most part, like people just kind of didn't notice it, and it kind of got pushed under the tide, you know? But later, Project Genesis did play it on stream. He was going back through the older, the other creations that didn't make it to give them feedback. And like it was pretty evident that he had actually never played my game at all. And I was like, well, that sucks. But that's not like hating on him or anything, because he does a cool thing. He does great work. And I think it was just kind of a bummer. And so it's nice, like later with the Halloween jam, or with the Media Molecules stream, I was just like, screw it, like I'll just ask them to play it because it hasn't gotten like any love really, and they made it an MM pick. So it's really nice to finally feel like, all right, all those days that I spent like slaving over this in like kind of the best way, like just, you know, that muse, it's really nice that people are finally looking at it and, you know, enjoying it for what it is. So
well,
thank you guys.
For one, I would say, and I can give you this video because the video that I have for the game, due to my remote play being really finicky since they made the PS5 update to the program for PC. I got the gameplay video from a Japanese player. So know that your stuff is being played by people around the world. So that should give you good
That's
seeds.
awesome.
But
Yeah,
also,
it definitely does.
like, you can take that video, and what I would say is start using more social media to your advantage. As far as I noticed for your YouTube, which I'm playing your YouTube video, 2 keys right now on the screen for people. If I'm showing this to y'all, but y'all need to hear this video because it's a really well done format. And I think is an in-depth, it's why I believe we should be paying attention to AVNDR, because it follows with Vestige in that it's just so well thought out and written and planned. It's great. But you should take the video of Vestige and put it on YouTube, and then take that YouTube link or in Twitter and just put it on there, so that, because a lot of MM has been making moves to try to help with the content curation issue for Dreams, as far as cutting through memes and stuff to get more people out there, and trailers, as far as like, I think, well, they're going in a lot of directions. Some of the stuff I can't talk about that I know about. So like, I'm sorry. I can't.
The way it is.
But it's the way it is. I can't talk about certain things I know, but I am very happy that people like the Tenia has been, brought on by MM as content curator, and
I saw that.
is doing. He does a great job. Yeah, he does a great job just with Twitch. So
He does, yeah.
with resources, he's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I would say use everything at your disposal, and even if it is a complete playthrough, I think you definitely should be marketing it, especially through like your YouTube, just so you can throw the link places. But yeah, with that, let's head back into the normal 3-way here and the menage a chat. And what are your, I guess, what do you draw inspiration from? Because like I said, there's a very cinematic aspect to the way you do things, and that intrigues me. And so more people bringing that into Dreams intrigues me. So like, what is it that you're looking to do as far as Dreams goes, and what are your influences in doing so?
Yeah. So I've always been a very philosophical person. I like thinking about things in terms of like, I guess like weight, like when you get chills when you hear something or see something, to me that's always been an indication of something important, and I think about that way a lot with fear too. Like fear is just really an indication to yourself that something is important and you need to pay attention. Like I think when you look at like a story to tell other people, in terms of empathy, like I think really that's my biggest goal in anything that I do, is to create like a line of empathy that makes it easier for people to connect emotionally and see something and be like, wow, like I feel that,
Yeah, that's
kind of my goal in general with everything, with music, with videos, with Dreams as well. And even with Dreams, like I do want, like for a while I've kind of wanted to make like shorter experiences like Vestige. It's probably one of the better, or my best work so far in executing that. I don't know if you saw Hello World or not, another creation that I did that got MM picked as well, which is sick. But I also like twists. I like people not knowing what's coming, and I like just interesting stories that people might not have thought of or might not have considered from a philosophical or empathetic standpoint. And I guess like that's just kind of where I want to keep going, and keep thinking about. Most of my music that I make is like, my favorite music is the music that just like hits you, you know. And that's generally what I end up listening to as well, is just music that is either completely background music that I don't even have to pay attention to, or it's something that like I'm sitting down, closing my eyes, lights off, like it's an experience, and it's something that like I have to like, yeah, just experience and like, you know, take in. So yeah, I guess that's just the best way I could put that. Just trying to focus on things that create some sort of empathy regardless of what emotion is being felt, and hopefully helping people feel something that is interesting.
Spoken like a true storyteller. I love it. I love it. Love it. So, James, go ahead. I can see you've been wanting to.
I was just wondering if you're currently working on anything else at the moment. Are we going to expect anything new from you? Do you have anything to share?
Yeah. So, outside of Dreams, I'm working on like a lo-fi hip hop album. Just cool stuff there. Different personal experiences baked into that. I'm working on a whole nother album as well. That's much more emotional, and the kind of album that I'm like, I don't even know if anyone's gonna like this, but it's important to me, and I hope that people that do hear it, like, they feel, you know, what I'm trying to say, and how I've felt over the years in creating it. But in terms of Dreams, right now, currently, I have you guys ever seen As Above, So Below?
Yes.
That movie is whack. So
yes.
I watched that movie for the first time, and like for a long time, ever since then had this idea of like a game where it's like a psychological what do you want to say, thriller, I guess, but where the player just constantly like cannot, like, you're forcing the player to try and keep track of where they are, but you make it literally impossible for them to, and so it makes it very unsettling, and then having other elements popped in there. So I'm trying to do another kind of horror thing, but I want it to have like an overarching theme of just madness. So what I've built so far is like I've built a bunch of pieces to make like the player go through like these mines essentially, and I want to randomly generate like each next piece, and you're constantly dropping down marbles to try and find your way back. But as the pieces shift and move, you can't really figure out where you're going or what you're even supposed to be doing. I want it to be something where it's just like, okay, all I can do is move forward and drop these marbles, and over time, like, I want to do stuff like the hotel hallways shifting and moving, different things like that, and you find yourself in different places and different like really kind of unsettling experiences, but not something that's really you know, horrifying, I guess. Kind of the same vein as Vestige, where it's like it's unsettling and it's weird and it's kind of interesting, but it's not like, you know, gonna make you poop your pants.
that makes me like, while you were speaking about that, I was thinking about we had brought up the Tempest engine a while back, and like when you were talking about dropping the marbles, I was thinking of like the sound of marbles like dropping and then like rolling away. And the idea that like if you had that sound in your ears, so it's like you might drop a marble, but then the fact that it might make a sound you don't expect, like maybe it would be like dropping it and there's water, but then so you'd get a thing, you're like, whoa, but then you drop it and you don't know if you're walking on a flat or uphill surface, so you drop and then it rolls away, and the sound of a marble rolling like down you know, some landscape or you know, pour the tile or something like that. Like there's a lot that can be done with that. And the other thing I thought of is Vivarium. Wow, I don't know if you've seen the movie Vivarium.
No, I have not.
because just when you were saying something that's strange and unsettling, and it's like it's scary, but it's also so off-putting that it's kind of not. It's just like wherever we are, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my brother's ears are burning because it's a movie where I didn't know how to feel about it, and I still don't. And I feel like that's kind of where you're going, or explaining. It's an experience, but that's it.
Bro.
Like,
have you ever seen Mother?
I refused to see it. I refused to see
I
it.
don't want it to be that intense.
But a few days ago, I got my hands on it, and I am planning on watching it because I watch everything eventually. But yeah,
Man.
so welcome, Reckley.
You gotta tell me how you feel about that when you see it.
Oh, believe me, I will.
That's
Yeah.
So, how long did it take you to create Vestige?
I believe I had a month and a half when I started. So
a month and a half.
A month and a half of like doing nothing but dreams. Like
Wow.
I think when I started I was at like level 60 or something, and now I'm at like 120.
Wow.
So it just like doubled from working on it so much. One of the things I really wanted to focus on was having like good audio, especially with voice actors and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting challenge because you could only have so many people in your team. And I reached out to Project Genesis and I was like, how many like do voice actors count as like the team? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. So I am using just the people in the apartment that I'm living in right now because I didn't know anybody. So
but that's the beauty of dreams, though, isn't it? I mean, you can easily just meet people and start collaborating out of thin air. It's just such a collaborative environment to be in. There's just so many people that it's just so open to just jumping into projects and doing a little bit and then jumping somewhere else. It's just such a cool place to be for things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so fluid.
So what I'm trying to say is, can I beg for a voice acting gig? Nope.
Bro, you don't even have to beg. Like,
I'm jumping on begging. No, because there's so many things. There's so many things that I've worked on now, but they're on projects that aren't out that I think people think I'm full of shit when I say that I'm voice acting for people.
That's awesome.
But so I guess let's go ahead, and if y'all don't mind, let's transition into things that have come out as far as next gen are concerned.
Let's go.
And dreams.
Alrighty.
All right.
Are we all ready?
So, first and foremost, I think things really ramped up when Elka posted his work on Twitter and showing the difference between the graphics and how much is used in a PS4 and how much is not used in a PS5. And that started people talking, where basically, they came out and gave a little bit of an explanation as far as that goes. But I believe Jamie looked into this the most. So exactly how does the graphical thing work?
So let's just put one thing clear. I don't think Media Molecule had any intention of posting anything about the PS5. I think that the sheer volume of interest that Elka's tweet got pushed them into a corner of which they had to say something.
I would agree.
I agree.
So I think there's definitely a lot of things that they're working on in regards to this. But as I say, they were pushed into a corner with that tweet. I mean, the PS5 is out in America now, so there was nothing they could do to stop it. A lot of people were saying that it's probably a glitch because, as a lot of you saw, the firmware was just sitting at 0. So they thought because it's new hardware, Dream's engine's probably not reading it right. So I did some research into it and started watching some videos on YouTube. And a particular person on YouTube made a video about this to debunk this theory. So he loaded plenty of heavy graphical intense dreams, and he managed to find a couple of them that actually did make the firmware spike, but really minimal. So there was this one game where it's sort of anime style and you could do super moves with the character. Now, on the PS4 Pro, when he did these moves, the firmware went all the way up to like 300, whacked way up, and then went straight down as soon as the super move was finished. When he did it on the PS5, the firmware went to 24. So that indicates that it's not a glitch. It actually is reading the firmware correctly, because if it was glitched, it would have continued to stay at 0.
Yeah.
So from that, you can do some calculations of like 300 against 24 to understand the true potential of how Dreams on PS5 is going to be able to control that demand of power. And as far as I'm concerned, from my research, this new thermo limit does not allow you to add any more content within the game itself. It just allows the firmware that's being run within the game to run at a lot more smoother rate. So it doesn't require as much power to get a smooth frame rate out of it. So you can build this really heavy, graphically intense game, and it's still going to run it near enough 0 because the speed and quality of the PS5 allows it to do so. And with that, obviously, comes a split in the community, which is not ever intended to happen. It's just because we have such a graphical leap and a generational leap with this new hardware, without them even optimizing the game, we get such a huge improvement. So you can imagine the difference it's going to make once Dreams is optimized for PS5.
Yeah.
It's going to make even more of an improvement. And even if they don't optimize it and they decide to just leave it as it is, as just pure backwards compatibility, and don't have a patch to make a PS5 version, you're still going to have this split, because people are going to be creating more heavily intense content who have a PS5, because why wouldn't you? You now have the ability to have much better textures, much better everything.
VR too, because then the part of the reason why I didn't do Vestige on VR is because it was so difficult to keep it at a frame rate that's capable, of keeping VR in the headset and not going to cinematic mode. So just for VR, it's going to game change.
Exactly. And he also did a test on the Fallout 4 that someone's made, that everyone's seen. Now, the camera movement is quite jaggedy in the PS4 Pro version, even with the extra power against the base PS4. I mean, it's smooth, but it's not great. And then he plays it side by side on the PS5, and it's just as smooth as butter. So, and that's without the guy even going in and changing anything in his Fallout game to make it even better, because the PS5 can just run it, because it's just a powerhouse. So you're going to find that people who own a PS4 are going to be creating games at a much higher fidelity, of which the base PS4 and the PS4 Pro is going to really struggle to play. So I've been searching through Twitter, and Media Molecule is sort of looking at, for right now at least, doing something quite similar to what they did with the PSVR with the comfortable rating. And I think they're going to be implementing something like that within Dreams for the compatibility with the different generation of consoles, because they can't control what the Dreamers are going to do, because even without the update to sort of patch things up, as of right now, Dreamers can go in and make their games higher fidelity because of the PS5, and then obviously that's going to cause problems for PS4 players. So,
and PS4, this is where we get to the first point of contention. Everybody knows my stance. I am a person who did not get a PS5. Okay, I don't have one, so I'm not looking down from my balcony just plebs.
Not for want of trying. Not for want of trying.
No, not for want of. I tried, and I didn't get one. And I still say that it doesn't matter if PS4 players get fractured off. And I'm one of them. And I say that now, I know why people fear the fracture of the community and the future of the game. But that last part, future of the game, is the main reason that I don't care. Because Dreams needs to always be able to push it to the best it can be. Dreams needs to constantly be able to evolve into what we all think it can be and know it can be. And we're not going to do that pandering to a system that, honestly, it's a miracle every time you turn on Dreams that it doesn't explode.
The jet engines.
Yeah, like, I mean, and it's not even just the jet engine. It's just as we've talked about many times before, it's a miracle that something like Dreams can even run on a PS4. So for me, even as a person like most who's left behind, I still want them to push, because that's going to make me want the PS5 more. This was that thing I was talking about last week where I can't remember who it was, and I'm not throwing shade, but somebody said, like, why do you want to be more excited for the system before you have it? And this is why. Because even if I don't have a PS5, I am only in games right now for, like, Dreams. Like, that's literally that's all I'm doing. And I want to know that even just with the we were talking about the marketing and how we thought it's been piss poor, but that little bit that Elka put out, even if he wasn't supposed to, like, that little bit is enough for me to be like, well, now I need it. Like, I was, when they first announced when the PS5 was dropping, I was like, yeah, I want it for Dreams, but I'll get it when I get it. I'm not in a rush. Now that little tweet means I want it now. I had not intended to try to get the PS5 because I knew how hard it was going to be. And I was like, I don't need that stress in my life. But basically, it changed the whole game. And so now I definitely want a PS5, but I don't want them to cater like they did with Miles Morales, like they're doing with Horizon, the next Horizon, whatever, West, whatever. Like, the fact that those games are even being tailored to run on PS4 now means that we're not going to get the best PS5 experience. I'm not saying the games are going to suck. They're still going to look beautiful, but they're not going to be completely made to take advantage of everything within the PS5. So my standpoint is, does it suck? It doesn't feel good. But I'm not going to hold that against Dreams, Media Molecule, or Sony, because it needs to happen if we want Dreams to get better. That's my stance. How do y'all feel?
I agree with you, but at the same time, I don't. And I see where you're getting at, and I agree with you that it needs to evolve, especially now that we have the hardware to support it. It would be stupid not to take advantage of that. And, Media Molecule did everything possible to literally squeeze every inch of power out of the PS4 to get it to work how it does now. So I can only imagine what would be possible if they went back to the drawing board and said, okay, let's squeeze out every inch of power that the PS5 has and make an ultimate version of Dreams. Totally get it. And I would love to see it, and I want it as much as the next guy. But you have to consider the reason why Sony is currently releasing some of their main titles on PS4 at the moment as well. And it makes sense. At the minute we're in a world crisis pandemic. People ain't going to be prepared to spend $500 on their next system. Some people can't afford to, and they don't want to be deprived of those titles just because a new system is out. They intend to support PS4 for the next 3 or 4 years, I believe. And that's simply down to the massive player base that they have on it. And the same thing goes for Dreams. They have to be very careful in their approach with this and what they do, because just because the new system's out, it's going to take at least 2 or 3 years for the majority of PS4 players to migrate over to the new system. It never happens straight away. It takes years for people to move over. So they need a solution that suits both consoles.
And the solution is you still have Dreams. You still have Dreams, but as with anything, you have to upgrade to get upgraded features. If you want Dreams to be what it can be, then you have to upgrade. That doesn't mean you can't still use Dreams. I mean, hell, we've seen what Ledbetter, we've seen what Martin, we've seen what Bad Robo, we've seen what all these people can do with Dreams as is. And most people still don't even know how to get to where they are. So they still, like, people have, they still have a path to grow within the game. But that doesn't mean that the game needs to stop. Now, I understand it being on PS4, and I understand why Miles Morales is on PS4. I understand why Horizon and all that stuff is, because you have a huge install base, and you want to make money, and that's your job as a business. But the angle that I feel this conversation is being approached from is from the aspect of, well, we know that things only get better, but... And yeah, you got to pay attention to the base, but if people are really concerned with all the things that we've talked about on this show for the last 13 episodes, will Dreams die? Like, is the player base leaving? Like, all these things get pushed further and further back by the game being allowed to grow. And so if people are going to have these complaints and wonder these things and make them the talk of the community itself, then I feel like it's counterproductive to say, well, no, it should wait for me. And I don't think that's right. I just can't sign off on that, because I want it to be great so that I always know. It's like recently, AMD just dropped their new CPUs that are crushing Intel. And
Finally.
For people, huh?
Finally,
after a decade, Intel finally rested on their laurels enough to where they got past. But basically what it comes down to is, if you have an AM5 socket on your motherboard, I might be getting too technical, or AM4 socket on your motherboard, you knew that you basically had the last 5 years of chips that you could go through. And next year it's going to be an AM5. Now, people complained because they were like, what? The new processors don't work on my super old motherboard? It's like, bro, that motherboard is like 7 to 8 years old. Why haven't you upgraded? And instead of looking at it as, oh, it don't work on this thing, this piece of duct tape tied to a fucking saltine, it doesn't work on that. Like, instead of saying that, just turn around and just be like, look, maybe it's time for me to upgrade. It's a
natural flow of technology.
Yeah, the natural flow. Next year, there's going to be the AM5 socket, which means everything you have for the last 5 years, including the new chips, they're moving to a new socket, which is going to be a new chip. Like, it's the same thing. Like, Dreams has to evolve or it will die. It has to be given the space to grow, or everything that people fear coming true about this community will come true.
Absolutely.
That's why go ahead.
No, keep going.
It's just, that's why I proposed the idea like 3 episodes ago, whether or not the game could evolve too slowly, because I foresaw this conversation coming. And it's like, there is a world where it evolves too slow, and then everything that people are fearing will come to pass. I'm done.
Yeah, totally.
So what's your thoughts, AVNDR?
Yeah, so I think basically I'm with you where I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 when I get around to it. It probably isn't going to happen this year. But I am stoked for it and everything. I think the general idea is, like, we're not going to have, like, since the beginning there's been a talk of a 10-year plan. 10-year plan isn't going to happen on a PS4. Like, let's be honest there.
Yeah.
So really, like, it has to progress. It has to go to PS5. And I think really, I mean, I'm in the park where, like, I want Dreams to be able to be licensed engines, and I can create stuff and take it to mobile. I can take it to Steam. I can take it to whatever platform I want. That's really where I think Dreams is going to be eventually, if everything goes well. And I think that's where it should be eventually, if everything goes well. And so I think along those lines, I don't think that like it really makes sense to clinch the resources to just a PlayStation 4. Like, I think it needs to keep on going, and I want it to get to PC. Honestly, I want to be able to pop it up on my laptop and without using remote play, and make stuff, you know, and be able to play it. Just send it to my friends on Discord, and they can play what I made. You know.
Yeah, see, that's interesting, because I think you might be onto something there, but I think that is literally at the end of their life cycle.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
like as far as exporting is concerned, I think it is definitely something we're going to see within the next 3 years with Dreams. But it's going to be locked down to the PS Store, and that makes perfect sense. You know,
Yeah.
it's a Sony-owned title. They've got all these amazing developers like yourself creating games like Vestige, and you know they can offer the potential to these people like yourself to export that to the PS Store and be able to brag that they've got thousands of developers on their platform through a game that they created for their console. Once they drain that out and that sort of dies down, and you know Dreams comes to its end, and you know not a lot of people are exporting no more, but eventually I reckon by the end of their 10-year cycle, that's when they will just do a PC release and say it's open to the world, go for it.
So I have a double question here. One, Liam in chat said, here's a thought. Do you think multiplayer can even be run on PS4? Or is that why it's taking so long? Because it will only work on the PS5?
Nah, that's going to run on PS4.
Dude, if they only released multiplayer on PS5, that would, oh my gosh, people would be so
yeah. Can you imagine the throwback
So
they would get from that?
See, I have, see, this is why I said I don't believe that my stance on this that I just ranted about for 10 minutes, I don't believe that that's the popular stance. I'm not lying to myself.
No.
I don't believe that the consumers like think that I am anywhere close to right or back anything I say. But now that I've made that stance, if it's just not possible, if it's too hard,
look,
I mean, people might be mad, but let's be real. Let's look at what's happened in this past year. The idea, like, one, the reason we're not playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now, and the fact that we don't have all the PlayStations that are needed to match the demand. Not only because of the pandemic. Oh no! We're getting there. We're getting there after this conversation. But the reason we're not playing Cyberpunk right now is because they had to make like 8 different versions of the game to make sure that it ran on every one of these versions of systems. That's the whole reason we don't have it. And so if an element of the game would literally make the PlayStation, as it has tried multiple times, literally take off like a UFO out of your goddamn roof. If they if that's the thing that like kills your PS4, if it got relegated to PS5, if it helps me get it. Once again, if it helps it grow, even if I can't do it yet, I gotta say that I would prefer it.
Let's get down to the technicalities then of this multiplayer.
Let's get down to brass tacks, mate.
I mean, yeah, but let's be honest. The multiplayer side of things is clearly going to work on PS4 for 2 reasons. One, Media Molecule is magic. They do things that no one else can do. I don't see anyone else out here creating a full game suite that works on a frigging base PS4.
True.
So if anyone can make it work, it's Media Molecule. And 2, the majority of the horsepower that will be needed for multiplayer is server-based anyway. So the PS4 isn't going to be doing all of that power. It's going to be, it's all over the internet. Yeah. So, you know, the fact that it could not come to PS4 is irrelevant. It's gonna work on PS4. They're also a type of developer that would not upset their community.
No,
unlike any other developer I've seen.
But we gotta stop. But we gotta stop saying that. And the only reason we have to stop saying that is because there's no way a company cannot and will not at some point upset somebody. There's just no way.
No. But what I mean is,
I believe you're right.
In a massive scale.
And everything's massive
disappoint
now.
Everyone, disappoint everyone.
See, but I believe you're right. Like multiplayer, definitely, I would believe is coming to PS4. But I just think it's interesting because of the idea of we don't necessarily know what the PS4 is limiting. Now, some of that is because of their lack of clarity on certain things. Now and going forward, but that's their right. I have no problem with that. But I'd like to bring up once again that they don't have an opacity slider for shapes. And
now that could come to PS5.
See, and well, it's actually with the engine. So like if they figured it out for the engine, I'm sure they could make it work on PS4. But
oh no, you're mistaken. That their engine can do it, and they have tested it. But the PS4 can't handle it because of how much processing it requires.
Well, I've talked to MM and the developer on it. So, no, I'm just Mr. Bridges. I'm just playing.
I'm purely going off of a tweet I saw from one of the MM developers on Twitter, and they said the actual idea is possible, and they've tried it, but the PS4 basically can't handle it.
Interesting.
See, and I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all keep me from my ability to have that slider because of complaining, the Emperor of Dreams is gonna be very vocal. Okay, just letting y'all know I'm coming for heads. But my uncle is Mr. Molecule. Ledbetter, you're hilarious. Well, my uncle, Mr. Molecule, told me. No,
excuse me.
But no, the way that I heard it explained during one of their live streams was just that it's very difficult and tricky, and that to get, because of the way it reads shapes, it's very hard to do, and they've been working on it. I don't know if the PlayStation is going to, like PlayStation 5 is going to fix that. But if it does, once again, that's a reason for me to be on that PlayStation 5, because I have a UFO, and that UFO needs a glass dome. And if I get held up for putting, it's been done for a month now, and if I can't put that dome on that UFO, I'm gonna scream. Okay, I can wait, but I'm gonna scream. Oh no, my mom's mate's sister's friend's dog's pet mouse's rubber ducky heard that Janice at 46 said MM. Indeed. So I guess now let's get into our last chapter of this heated debate.
You're really gonna get me upset. I'm just
letting
you know now.
I know I said on Twitter that I might have to go and get me a drink and have that. I had it before the podcast, okay? So I could calm. So this is the more calm me. Okay, this is the not as rage filled me. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I knew a scalper personally, I would be choking. And I know I'm old, so let me throw out this old reference. Patrick Swayze Roadhouse, I would throat rip them. Okay? It's he has this secret move where he like rips someone's throat out. It's freaking amazing. Anyway, old movies rock. So I would be going for someone, okay? Because this is something that should have been anticipated because it's existed in the sneaker market for years now. these bots that literally crash sites whenever something goes live that is popular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep calm. So
Unleash, just let it go, man.
the basically
us.
there's two ways to go at this. If you know a scalper, make them pay and never stop making them pay. Okay? That's one. Two, the idea that to maintain consumer goodwill, all these huge companies won't use a CAPTCHA on their goddamn sites. What is happening?
I never even considered that.
Like,
my goodness.
you could
That's all they need.
Yeah,
That's
you could
all they
speak.
That
need.
is all they need. I was gonna say like limit purchases, like
No.
per browser session. or
I
like,
was having the
But-
same conversation with Vicious earlier this week, and he just came out and said, all they need to do is put a capture on. I'm like,
CAPTCHA.
oh my god, that would solve the issue. Why are they not using it?
See,
The
Raga,
answer is-
Sadly,
oh, go ahead.
I
go
wonder
ahead.
if it's because they're gonna get their money anyway. Like,
That's what I
See,
was about to say.
that's
Money
why I
is
said
money.
it's not consumer friendly, because as far as they're concerned, especially on something like Amazon or eBay, even if someone did get it for normal price, they can immediately turn around and sell it on those platforms. So it works out business wise better for them not to have CAPTCHA, but. And I hate that. I hate saying CAPTCHA. Like,
CAPTCHA?
Yeah.
CAPTCHA?
If they just had CAPTCHA.
It's like gotcha. CAPTCHA?
Yeah. So it's just, you would, well, remain calm. If you, like, the idea that they wouldn't just do it, because you can speak to the people who build the bots. There's been a ton of interviews with people like these last couple of days because of they knew it was coming and they knew how to stop it. But if you don't know what these bots do, to put it very simple, it takes a bot literally 1 second to trigger 50,000 interactions. That interaction is the purchase of something. So if you're a normal person without a bot going to one of these sites to try to get a PS5 or Xbox, well, probably not Xbox Series S. We know ain't nobody trying to get that shit. But I'm just playing, just throwing shade. But basically, just think about it. That's one person with one bot. Now think of how many people who are doing this, these scalpers, are doing it. That's literally how you know if it's a bot. If the site crashes, they're using bots. Because most of these people, they have the capability of like getting a huge load. But when you're getting like, I would say, what was it in that article? I think it's like basically you're getting 300,000 interactions in a second. That breaks the site. And I'm talking to somebody who had the PlayStation 5 in my cart and pressing pay within 3 seconds of it going live. Now, I know it's still possible to just, they don't have a lot of stock. There's a lot of people, but the site literally broke every time. Every time. If you even got to the site and was able to load it before it. And that angers me. I don't think
a single one of my friends that were all stoked for PS5 got one.
The only
I don't know
They
anybody.
all got their Xboxes like yesterday.
I don't know anybody that I know that wants a PS5 that has managed to secure one.
The only person that I know that has a PS5 that wanted one got it because they had an inside track from a friend who worked at a big reviewing company.
Oh, well, that's different.
And that friend was like, "Yeah, I'll be able to get two. Do you want one?" That's the only person I know that has it. Other than that, it's Elka had like places like Sony sent him one, but like Yeah, I don't know anybody that got it. And the idea that they wouldn't do something to make it even so that, like I said, a CAPTCHA, all you needed was one. And yeah, the botters is still going to get some, but they can't take all of them in 0.3 seconds. Why, Ledbetter? I love you. I'm glad that you
They
got
got
one.
one.
I'm glad that you got one.
Like the
Because
best of us.
yeah, you're out here doing God's work. Verbal creative, awesome. So, but
I
yeah,
mean, I still have a chance because where I'm in,
Mississippi swamp.
where
gotta go get mine from some Mississippi swamp smugglers, the remnants of the Prohibition circuit. Jesus Christ!
I just pictured like some Red Dead Redemption 2 shit, like
Right?
like just way down by.
But yeah, I mean, I still have a chance to get one because where I'm in the UK, we actually don't get the PS5 till the 19th. And they do have stock for non-pre-ordered customers, but again, it's very limited. So it's uncertain how many there are available. But even so, you know, we're a much smaller country, so there's not going to be as much demand as there is in the USA. But it's still going to be tricky to try and get one, and we're still going to have the same issue with these bots. And it's just so annoying when there is so many customers out there that are willing to pay 500 quid for this brand new console, and we can't get one. It's just so infuriating. It's like you're creating a product that has such a demand, yet you're not allowing it to get to the people that you need it to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that money is money, and if you don't add a CAPTCHA, they're going to sell out anyway. They're going to sell out regardless. If you don't have that, if you alleviate the bots from the situation, they're still going to sell out, and they're going to sell to the people that need them, that are going to buy the products on it, which is the games, which will in turn earn you more money. So why are you allowing these people to let bots come into your site to buy the consoles? Because no one in their right mind is going to give 1,500 quid for a PS5. It's just not going to happen.
And this is the biggest part. This is what actually, AVNDR, do you have something to come in with? I don't want to keep going back and forth.
I'm just on the agreement train here. So
this is the biggest problem with it, and this is why I have an issue with it. If you're in the U.S. and if you're in the UK now, the biggest problem I have with this is if we went back to February, if you were trying to build a PC all the way up until about a week and a half ago, you couldn't do it because the lockdown that happened because of the pandemic literally had thousands of power supplies, motherboards, graphics cards, all trapped on a dock somewhere where no one could access them. And this is about to happen again. The U.S. is going to go back into a lockdown. The U.K. already is in one, right, Jamie?
Yeah. Well, 1 week into a 4-week lockdown.
So we're all going to be in the lotion lobby trying to get a console. All of those that don't have it, we're all going to be in that lobby waiting to try to get one. But because they're not stopping the botters and the demand is going to stay high, the botters aren't going away. Every time there's a little peak of sunshine and a PS5 becomes available, it's going to be gone. And we're back in lockdown with the things we want stuck on a dock somewhere. So I would hope, if I can foresee it, then I hope people who make money to foresee it will do something about it. Because if not, none of us that don't already have it are going to be getting a PlayStation 5 before 2021.
What's interesting?
That's not good.
Yeah. What's interesting is like most retailers would not buy through the site. Most retailers would probably have an outside manner of ordering. Like Walmart isn't going to order it through the through Best Buy site. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have like pre-orders through vendors or whatever, however that works. So what's interesting is that like they're literally going to be shipping consoles to like the same address, knowing that that's where it's going. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just one whole bot area is just all gonna get like a bunch of consoles to one address that crash the site and purchase a bunch of PlayStations. And it's like, there's got to be something they could do even on that end. Like just oh, this address purchased like, you know, or this shipping address is receiving like, you know, 1,000 consoles or whatever, and it has all these different payment options or payment, like maybe it has like the same payment information. Like, I feel like there's something that they could do, like, oh, we're just gonna refund this and you're gonna get like 2 consoles or whatever, because obviously that's what's going on, you know. Like, they could even do something on that side of it to just bring all that stock back.
But that's the problem. They don't care. As
Yeah.
long as they hit their numbers and they sell out of consoles, that's all that's important to them. But they're missing the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, with all these consoles that these scalpers have got, you know, unless they're selling them for, you know, like a 10% markup, not a lot of people are going to buy. No, not a lot of people are going to buy them. People that are asking $1,500 to $2,000 for a console, you know, you'll be absolutely mad in your mind unless you've got millions of pounds sitting in the bank to actually purchase one. So there's going to be thousands and thousands of PS5s that are now in the circulation that are not being used. Therefore, they're not getting any downloads. They're not going to get any game sales. And that's going to be affected by it because they'll have their numbers. They're going to say, like, okay, in the UK, we've sold 5 million PS5s, but a million of those PS5s have not downloaded any games. So,
Zypher asked, why didn't Walmart or other stores put a limit on how many you could buy? They did.
They did, yeah. One per customer.
But you can set it up so that you are getting one per household according to their system. That doesn't stop bots. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So
a bot could buy 50,000 consoles all in one click under different addresses and different names, different credit cards that all link back to the same address and the same card. That's how a bot works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a real problem, and I think it's the biggest problem. We've talked about a lot of things that could threaten dreams, and I'm just saying, like, when it comes down to it, this is the biggest issue for dreams right now, is that not only do we have all the other things that we've talked about as far as marketing, but now you have people basically keeping consoles out of actual players' hands, which is slowing down production on things that could be made in dreams, which it's stopping the growth of dreams with an added player base. That's a problem.
In all honesty, it's stopping the growth of PlayStation in general.
Yeah.
In general. And it's so annoying. It really does leave a sour taste in your mouth. And I appreciate that, you know, with the whole crisis and the lockdown, that production is going to be a bit slower than it normally would have been. But, you know, you clearly have the capability to create these consoles in millions. You already have been. So just keep continuing to make them and supply the demand, especially now more than ever with lockdowns. People are going to want this new system. A lot of people are out of work. You know, a lot of people are on furlough. You know, they're still being paid, but they can't work. So they want something to invest their time into. And it's just, all I'm saying is if I don't get a PS5 in time for Christmas, Christmas is cancelled in my home. It's just cancelled. Because, you know, I've got all this holiday to take where I haven't took any holiday this year because of COVID. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to save all my holiday up and I'm going to take a month off over Christmas and just have some really good gaming time with the new console. By the looks of things, that's not going to happen now. And that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. As much as I love the PS5, I've had every single one of them from release. You know, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, I've had all of them. And I will always prefer PlayStation as a console because they have the better games. But besides that, it really does leave a sour taste in your mouth, like you did me wrong. You know, you have such a large player base and you genuinely cannot fit the demand. And you should have prepared for this. It's quite evident that because you have such a large player base, you're gonna need more consoles than you did with PS4.
See, this is the reason I personally don't throw shade at PlayStation or Xbox for that matter. We did come out of one lockdown that literally stopped the world. So there were no PlayStations being made. There were no, there wasn't like them creating this huge stockpile. They literally started behind schedule. So and if we go into lockdown again, like I said, they probably have a huge stockpile that's on its way here. But by the time it gets here, we're going to be locked down. So I think they do have the actual, I think they do have enough to fulfill the demand. But I don't think it's going to get here in time to fulfill it. And then the ones that do get here are still going to be hit by the botters. And another thing is the idea that because people are willing to, don't buy things from these people. Don't buy things from the scalpers.
You're only encouraging it to continue.
It's not even that it's encouraging it to continue. If these companies see that people are willing to buy these exorbitant price things,
they're going to pump up the price.
I don't trust these companies to keep, because you're getting a deal. Even if the PlayStation, it's $500, I'm going to tell you right now, it's worth probably about 7 to 8. Just in comparison to gaming on PCs.
I actually heard that Sony is losing $100 in every console that they sell.
That is,
I wouldn't put that past it.
From all things that I have heard, that is not correct. But I'm not going to say that's not correct, because you obviously heard it someplace too. But a lot of the places that I pay attention to and that have written articles on it said that if PlayStation had went $450 for their normal price, then they would have basically made $20 off of every console, because a lot of people were saying that they were going to drop it to $40 or to $400 and take a loss, but instead they kept it at $500. And then that lower model, which they reduced the size of the SSD and stuff in, helps them still make money, because Sony had come out a while ago and said that they weren't going to lose money on this console. That's why they were trying to hype up that marketing slogan of premium. Like it was going to be the premium console, not the console that, they're trying to cut corners. If you want the real next gen experience, that was the whole line. That's why they did that marketing. So I heard that if it was at $450, they were still going to be making money off of it. And when they came out with the two different tiers and one being $400, because of the drop in the SSD size, I'm pretty sure they're making money.
The SSD size is the same in both PS5 versions. The only difference is the Ultra UHD Blu-ray disc drive.
Which means they saved $50 off of the drive.
Mm-hmm. The SSDs are exactly the same.
Then that's it. That still keeps them making money and profit. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't really care. It's Sony. They make money.
Is by the 19th, if I don't have one, you're going to see a really different side of Jammy on the next episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I might not even show up. Who knows?
I say we go with Liam's advice here.
Heist. Okay, we'll just have to start a heist, lads. Grab the boat, track down where the Made in Dreams podcast, a.k.a. the Tenet heist, is about to be initiated. What we need to do is go back in time to get them before they get on the boat, then come forward in time. Look, all it is.
I don't know, man. They got to be storing it somewhere.
Oh no,
There's
they're
a
going to be on the
warehouse
docks.
there.
They're
Don't
literally going to
get
be
me
on the
started.
docks. And even my wife, who doesn't play games really, she plays Zelda, but like I said, she doesn't really play games. And
That's my wife. Nintendo only.
yeah, even she said, "Hey, we're just going to have to get the boats." As soon as I told her what was happening. So I think we are going to see people try to take them boats, but it'll probably be the botters. That's it. They're going to take the boats first before we get the boats. So
And another thing that really pisses me off is if we was not in lockdown, I would be able to get a PS5 because every year they do the midnight launch, and I would have been camping out the night before, and I would have stayed there for 24 hours to make sure I was at the front of the queue so that I knew when I got in that store, I would have had a PS5. That's not possible now because everything's online due to lockdown.
yeah.
All the stores are closed, so we have
Yeah.
online only, which means it's not freaking possible.
You ain't beating the
Oh,
bots.
it just really, really infuriates me because
Does it really tickle your tits?
It does, because people that want them, like myself, like I really want this system. I really can't afford it right now, but I'm willing to give the 500 for it because I need it. Can't get it because we've got people that are trying to make £1,500 more on top of the console is trying to grab it, and they're getting them. And we
Yeah.
have no power against it. There's nothing you can do. It's like, I'm going to wait up for the midnight launch on all the websites here in the UK, even though I know for an absolute certainty there is no chance of me getting one because each bot can do 50,000 orders at once. So even if there's only 20 bots, I'm still outnumbered. There's just no chance. There's just no way. And the fact that they're not doing anything to stop that is so annoying.
The fact that they're not doing anything to stop it, and literally to stop it would take 3 minutes.
It wouldn't even take 3 minutes.
It would take 3 minutes to give people a fighting chance, and they're just not going to do it.
Well, hopefully
So-
we see that happening when it releases for you. When it goes
Yeah.
out to you.
Well, we will know. You'll know. On the next episode, I'll either have, this really big smile on my face, waving around my dual sense, saying, I got one, or I won't be here. Will be doing the show on his own. He'll be doing a solo episode. Because
So
I'm too salty
guys,
to come on
we're
the
gonna
show.
have to keep tabs on Jamie throughout the week, because if he doesn't come, I'm gonna need a guest co-host. So keep your eyes on the Discord and Twitter, because I mean, look, it tickles his tits and it gargles my areolas. So I'm just saying, I want the PS5. I'm willing to wait. I am.
You see, I'm not. I'm too impatient. I need it now.
But I'm not willing to have to wait because of shiesty crap. Like that's just it for me.
We're
if I
on
know
top
somebody's
of the
out there.
biggest time of year as well. We're on top of Christmas. There's a reason why these consoles release around this time of year. It's ready for the big season of Christmas. What's going to happen at Christmas? Are we even going to have any? Because if I haven't got one in my household for Christmas, I'm going to be pissed. It's like, this is the biggest time to sell technology is at Christmas time, and you have no consoles. Just,
I'm just saying. Maybe that episode. Maybe I won't get a guest co-host. Maybe I'll just set up my little Charlie Brown tree. You know, that really depressing tree, and the whole thing will just be me sitting in the dark next to that little tree, and that'll be the whole episode. Be like, guys, I'm sorry, this is it.
All these brilliant games is coming out as well, and I refuse to play them on PS4. I flatly refuse to play Cyberpunk on my base PS4. That thing would. It's just going to blow up. It can't handle it. No matter how much optimization they do, the fan noise is going to be so loud, the fan's just going to blow out and ricochet around the house. It's just, it's stupid to try and think to even play that on this gen. So I have to wait for all these brilliant games like Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, and I can't play them.
Well, when you stated those two games, I immediately wanted you to fail in getting a PlayStation. So you started off strong with Miles Morales, and then you just went downhill real fast into the well, from the ring.
Want to be a Viking?
I don't want to be a Viking from Ubisoft. But anyway, we'll fight about that some other time. But everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. and they need to do something to help their actual fans. And if if Sony doesn't, or if these retailers don't, then I hope people really get outraged. I've
they
never
don't need
wanted,
everybody. They only need me for that.
I've never wanted the outrage culture.
All of it.
I've never wanted the outrage culture to get to really go after anybody. But if they go after these retailers for not taking 3 minutes to put a captcha on their friggin' checkout, I'll back it. I'll back it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, let's just get real for a second, though. I mean, surely there's not a lot of manpower involved with creating these consoles, right? Surely it's all done by machine. Or am I mistaken?
So.
Wait, say that again?
Or at least most of it would.
You'd think the majority of the PS5's build would be done by machine, right? It wouldn't be built by hand.
It's going to be a lot of people. Like there's like machines handle things, but transitions between them as well as the installation of certain parts are done by people.
Okay. All right.
So like think of it as building a PC. Like you still need the human to plug and play. That's kind of how it works. So I don't know.
I'm just disappointed more than upset at this point.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's just you can't take a swift kick to the chesticles like this and just be expected to like it when it comes down to it. Like you just can't do that. So I think
for
people
them, it's
have a
great
right to be upset.
To have, but
they're making money.
At the same time, you've got to supply the demand.
Yeah. And everybody else, like, I mean, we'll just call it season 1 of the Made in Dreams podcast, and we'll come back in 2021 when we have a PlayStation 5. Maybe that's the route. Maybe it's the universe telling us that we need to do. We need to do like we need to do like these streaming services that still refuse to just put everything out at once, like Netflix. And this show will end, and then we can start people on the week to week of the next show, because. Yeah, that makes all the sense. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
At least we still have our PS4s, that levitate when you load Dreams. So there's always that.
I think this is the one time where being like a patient gamer has actually been nice, because I'm just like, I'll get it when I get it, and I mean I want it, but I really only want it for Dreams personally. But yeah, like most of the time, this is just kind of like I'm just like I don't know, I'll be there eventually. So when the podcast starts up in 2021, I'll be there. Might still be on a PlayStation 4. I don't know, but
see, that's the thing. I'm the same. Like I said, I'm the same way. I was like, I'll get it when I get it, but the only real reason I'm moving forward is because of Dreams. And of course, it's like a smartphone. Before you had one, you were like, I don't need all that stuff. And then you get one, and you're like, well, I might as well partake in all of these offerings. Yeah. And so, like, that's how I feel about it. But it's literally just that, the idea that someone, not even just me, but just as somebody is being kept from experiencing awesomeness. Like, I hope Martin got one. Like, I hope Sony, if Sony sent one to Elk, I hope Martin got one.
I hope Bad Robo got one.
I'm more excited to play Dreams in quiet now than anything else. That's next gen. Exactly, Verbal. Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. Until
I'm really
then.
sad now. I'm more sad than when we started the show.
Oh, no.
I just know that the 19th is going to come. I'm going to get all hyped and be like, I'm going to get one. And then, boom, sold out.
Bro, that's why we did this, so that people can temper, like, we'll be outraged now so that people can have, their tempered expectations. Like, going forward what you're up against. That most likely, and it's not for certain, that you have about the chance of an ant's dick to get basically through that, finish line and get your PlayStation. But, it's possible. But don't be upset when it doesn't happen.
There's no point you trying to say that to me. I'm going to be absolutely raged if I don't get one. My wife is terrified if I don't get a PS5. She is
Jesus
terrified.
Christ. Okay.
She is terrified if I don't get this system. I've already told her that Christmas is cancelled if I don't get it. I am not celebrating Christmas. There is no point. That is all I want to do over Christmas is just sit and play on my new console. And if I don't get it, I'm staying in bed until the festivities are over.
Pixel Tuner, I did see and notice the frame rates on Elka's stream for Aang. The animations were smooth. They were smooth as fuck. So
like that video with the glider going around.
So smooth.
Like he turned and you see that sunset with like the clouds and the mountains. And I was just like, that's just like the show.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And like I said, I can wait. But I just don't like it's the principality of the thing. Like, if I have to wait, I want it to be because other people are getting it and enjoying it and loving it. Not because somebody is like, I can make a quick buck. And like that just
update from the wife. She just texted me from the other room. She said that I'm the Grinch. So
I can believe it.
I can believe it. You weren't the one that stole Christmas, though.
No, Sony's the one that stole Christmas.
Okay. Before we start throwing around allegations, like, dude, just all I'm saying is, you know what you're up against, so just relax. Like, I've hit that rage point, and now I've come down. Now I'm just like, this is just what reality is. It sucks like reality most of the time. And, we'll just keep going from there. We'll get it eventually. And when we do, it'll be just as beautiful. Right?
I hope so.
I like how Jamie, he just shook his head no. He didn't even say anything.
I'm imploding inside.
Just
does not compute.
Look, 2020 has been a shit enough year, okay? Let me just have this, please. Just let me have this one thing of enjoyment out of this crappy year.
Bro.
But no.
At the very end, too. Just
yeah, I know. Seriously, just let me have one nice thing.
No. It's 2020. You don't get one nice thing. Bruh, I started out this year being like, time for me to build my Uber computer. And then everything locked down and I couldn't find anything. And then it unlocked down and the new parts from AMD came out. And I was like, now it's time. Botters got everything. Scalpers got every new piece of tech out there. And I was like, that's okay, though. I can wait to build because I have the PlayStation. Botters came in and took that, too. And so, like, I hear you, okay? I feel you. I understand. But it's 2020. It's 2020.
Liam says at the end of the day, you could always get an Xbox Series X instead.
Dude, so many people are doing that.
Yeah, like they are the main benefactors of what's happening, because but I actually want to play games, so I'm gonna wait for the PlayStation. So I
want to play games.
My current PC can already play everything that's on that Xbox so far, so there's no reason for me to go forward. But while I say that, if you got your hands on an Xbox, good for you. As long as your purchase makes you happy, my thoughts be damned, okay? Like, real talk. Let's make it all even right now. As long as you're happy with whatever you bought, hey, good on you. Good on you. So see, you got to find those little moments. You got to keep it straight. You can't be like the Grinch over here. Just grumbling into the microphone and like seething through his teeth. Like, it is what it is, man. Just woo-saw it out, be mad about it, try to do what you can about it, and move on. That's it. Oh my God, Notorious coming in throwing just hot takes. The Xbox trash can. Jesus Christ. Egg
put
box
egg
series
eggs.
You think 2021 is coming? The clock strikes 12 and it's December 32nd. Welcome to 2020 Part 2. God damn.
We're never leaving
That's
this
the
year.
worst horror movie I've ever heard of.
I mean,
Oh,
hey, I don't put anything past it, honestly. Like, it's
Have you
just, huh?
do you guys know Nakey Jakey, the YouTuber? I'm sure
No.
you do, right?
I don't.
No?
No.
Oh, damn it. Well, he tweeted and he said, a new president, COVID vaccine update, new consoles, a good Assassin's Creed game, Spider-Man, Demon Souls, Cyberpunk. This is part of the movie where Airbud dunks the fuck out of that basketball. And that's the approach I'm trying to take, as opposed to December 32nd. Please no. Lord, no.
You know, no, don't do it. I was about to go to negative town. I got it. No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Just gonna hold back. So, is there anything else that, AVNDR, you wanted to go into as far as, you know, a topic you wanted to discuss? I feel like we've kind of guided this one with you, and I want to make sure you're able to get out everything you wanted to get out.
I mean, I think for the most part, we already talked about anything. Yeah.
So let me ask you, are you
Yeah.
going to take that album and put it in Dreams?
So, fun fact, actually, it started in Dreams. I was messing around with some ideas and trying to make an animation to go along with these songs that I was just messing around with. I was actually like trying to take a break from Vestige. It was just like, I'm gonna make some chill ass music because I'm dying. But yeah, so I started making some stuff in that, and then I ended up actually taking some of my favorite tracks that I made in Dreams out into Cubase because I just can use that better. I'm more familiar with it. So it actually did start in Dreams, and actually the animation that I made for it, that's going to be an animation playing for the whole album when I release it.
Wow.
That was an animation that I started in Dreams to get a concept, and then took that and I took a video of that horrible animation I made and brought it to my friend that animates, and I was like, hey, could you do this, and can we like change the seasons and stuff, because it's this one scene of just like basically me and my AVNDR mask like just walking our dog, and then the seasons change and it goes to night or day depending on the mood of the track, and it's just going to be going through the whole album. But I drafted that in Dreams and sent it to him, and we've been working on it ever since. And so, dude, yeah, it started in Dreams, which is really pretty badass, I think.
When you first started talking about it, and you said you wanted it to be like a musical experience, or like, you know, with stuff going on, I immediately thought Midnight Gospel. And I was like,
yeah,
and dude, I was like, that would be awesome. I'd love to see people do that, because Midnight Gospel is amazing. So
there was definitely an idea I had that I'm still trying to get around to doing, because I do music of all kinds, like acoustic, I do pop, I do obviously lo-fi hip hop stuff. But a goal that I had was to make like a pop song in Dreams, like from start to finish, and then make the music video completely VR, and it's like an on the rails experience. And like there's parts where like the song loops until you do something, and like it's just this whole experience in VR, and like it'd be like a VR music video. And it's so crazy because like really the only place I think that people could do that, at least without tons of processing power and stuff, is Dreams. And so that's something I'm working on. Eventually I'll get there. But
all right, well, I can't wait to see what you come up with next. I know we said that before, but I want to reiterate, because definitely someone I hope to work with in the future.
Oh, we'll be working together.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
If you're I want you to make a moving corridor simulator. That's all I want.
Keep running around.
Just running around and the corridors moving in different directions, an endless loop. That would be great. I could sit there for hours.
I'll do you one better, and I'll have a carrot, if you will, just a PS5 on a pedestal that keeps moving back just for you.
Wow.
No, but seriously, you could make a great runner game with that mechanic.
Yeah, totally.
That'd make a fantastic runner.
It would be really interesting. Yeah,
That'd be
totally.
really cool.
Yeah,
So maybe something to consider.
yeah, and I mean, like, if I get the hardest part about that game, like Minds of Madness or whatever I'm gonna end up calling it, where like the pieces are randomly spawned and generated and emitted. If I can get that system going, then that would be really cool for that too, because then I could build other pieces, you know, and do that. Be really sick.
So Extra Chromosome said, I don't make dreams, but I definitely be playing them. That I typed it out, but also that's very important to the dreams community. Like very, very important. So thank you from the community, because that's one of the things that really is scary for a lot of people, is the fact that everybody's working on something. And, you know, do we have people actually out here playing the things that are being made? So, yeah, we love you in the community. Continue. I hope you're having fun, and maybe you will make something in the future.
A game is only as good as the people that's played it.
Yep. So,
did you all answer my question? And about the guest, is he a game dev outside of Dreams too? I'm not a game dev outside of Dreams, but Dreams actually got me interested, and I did pick up Unreal to try and see what it was like.
Lol.
But Dreams is so much easier, man.
It really is. It really is.
So much easier. That's why I wanted to come to PC and other platforms, in order to just because it's such a damn crying shame that like people that make movies, that you can take that off of Dreams. People that make music can take that off of Dreams. Games and immersive experiences are always going to stay there, and that's just kind of sad to me.
Not necessarily.
Oh, here we go. I was waiting.
I think I think it's definitely here's what I'm saying. Here's what I think. I think optimally, I think it could be something cool where creations can be like sold and licensed the engine out to other things, but I think it would make sense for those experiences to still stay free within Dreams always, and always be available in Dreams. That's what I would like.
Absolutely. But here's the thing that will really tickle your chesticles is, if I may take that.
Yeah.
They've already done it. They've exported. Media Molecule have. It's successful. Dreams has the ability to export and play on its own without the need of Dreams at all. It's possible. It's been done. It's just a matter of when they're going to allow us to do it, because there's a lot of complications with it.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
So don't think that it's not on the table. It definitely is. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And how.
As long as that's the case, then I'm stoked. But
I mean, I don't know if it'll come outside of the PlayStation platform, but either way, it's going to come out of Dreams.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it could be a really interesting doorway, because, you know, Microsoft has also it has Xbox, but it also has PC pretty much on lock, aside from, you know, Steam and everything. But if Sony could find a way to get this on PC, then that could be a doorway for them to also be battling on that grounds as well. But
so if it was,
I don't know, man.
So Jamie, because I know you're against the whole PC Dreams thing. As many times as you argued it against me, you better still be.
I know. Okay, I'll put it this way. I'm not against it being on PC in a certain respect. I mean, I think first of all, they need to allow the ability for PlayStation users to be able to export their games. At least to the PlayStation Store, because that's a massive selling point for Sony, even though they have the worst marketing team in the world, and I could market Sony better on my own than I could their whole team. I mean, they would have the ability to say, we are the only console platform that allows our players to develop their own game and publish it to our store. That's massive. Can you imagine the marketing they could do with that?
So
That's
what you're
huge.
saying, is they just need to make like a Origin like thing for PC where you can still play your PlayStation games and put Dreams on that, so it's still connected within Sony.
My thing would be is that you can create it on PC if you want, but it still needs to go to the PS Store. It needs to stay. It needs to stay within Sony's ecosystem right now for it to work. At the end of the 10-year plan, once they've squeezed everything out of it, then sure, release it on PC, let people export to different things like mobile and, Steam or whatever. But that needs to be right at the end, once they've extinguished everything they can out of it. First of all, it needs to be exportation to the PlayStation Store so anyone can become a game dev on a console. Yeah. That's the point of Dreams. Like, if it was on PC, it wouldn't be as impressive. What makes Dreams as impressive is that everything is made on a console with a DualShock 4 or Move controllers. That's what makes it amazing. When you show people things, when I've shown people things, I'm like, look at this. I've shown them a video of a game. They're like, that's really cool. What platform is that on? Can I download it? I'm like, no, that was made on a console. That was made on someone's base-ass PS4. And then they're like, no, it isn't. And then you show them Dreams, and they're like, oh my god, it was made on a PlayStation.
Right.
That's the big wow factor with Dreams. To take that away, for me personally at least, that would take away the essence of what Dreams was in the beginning. So the whole PC thing needs to be right at the end once it's extinguished every other avenue.
Yeah, interesting take. I think between what I would like, I would hope that it would happen sooner and not be confined to the PlayStation Store. But I do think that if it does happen, I think that you're probably more right in that that's probably what will happen. And how they would push it, fucking God willing. I hope they do. I hope they do it that way. But
yeah,
I mean, at least, compared to not at all.
And even if they did, like, a lot of people, like, we've discussed this so many times, a lot of people were saying, then, what happens to the version within Dreams? And, people are just going to be playing the exported versions and the player base on Dreams would die. But I disagree.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
I completely disagree because, they could even add a policy where, right at the end of the game and at the beginning, it needs to show the Made in Dreams logo so people know where it was created. And it's still there to play on Dreams. You just have the option to play it outside of Dreams if you want, and it gives it to people that don't necessarily know what Dreams is. Right. Someone could download that game, play it, found it amazing, see the Dreams logo at the end, do a search, and they're like, oh, I can make something like that. Didn't know that existed. Because let's be honest, Dreams has not been marketed properly.
No, it
not
hasn't.
Not a lot of people know what it is.
Yeah. I'll do you one better though. What if when you come across a Dreams creation in the PlayStation Store, it says purchase now to play, or it says like purchase in Dreams, where you can get access like a bunch of other games as well. And then if they get it through that menu, then the creator of that creation maybe gets like a little cut of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and then again, we come into this conversation as well with, pricing on different games and things. I would even be happy if Sony said, look, we're going to allow you to export your creations out of Dreams onto the PlayStation Store, but it has to be for free. I wouldn't care. I'm not bothered about that. Yeah. I would be happy to say, whatever. I would just be amazed to say, look, my team and I have created a game, and it's available worldwide on the PlayStation Store for anyone that has a PS5 or a PS4 to download and play. And we did it all within the system itself. That's enough for me. That's enough. I'm not out here to make millions of pounds off of a game. We're here like every other dreamer to create because we find it interesting and fun and we love to collaborate.
Right.
So if they looked up and said, release it if you want, but it's going to be for free, I'm fine with that. I never came here to make money in the first place. If I did, I would be making an Unreal or CryEngine or one of the other systems.
Exactly. Yeah, but think about all these damn Sonic and Mario clones.
Oh no!
Oh, I tried to say don't set him off because Jammy will lose his mind out here.
They're not allowed to be exported. No.
Yeah, as a matter of
Exported
fact,
straight into hell.
hopefully they'll all go away. They'll all go away.
For the love of all things holy, get rid of these Shrek memes and Mario creations. Just let them die.
Yeah,
I'm okay with the Shrek memes. I think those are hilarious.
No,
But-
what annoys me is
That's just
okay. What annoys me is someone like yourself that has made an amazing creation that needs to be credited for it is not getting enough views because SpongeBob over here in the corner is getting like 50,000 likes and Vestige is up there with nothing because SpongeBob has taken all the fame. It's not right. It's not right, and it shouldn't happen.
I agree with you there, but I will.
Jammy
I
the
will lay
Inquisitor
down
has
arms for Shrek.
spoken.
I'm telling you, Media Molecule should just hire me just to get rid of the memes and put them somewhere else. Not delete them, just move them somewhere else so they don't show up in my recommended feed all the time. I don't want to look at that shit. I want to look at creations that people have put their heart and soul into, and that's what I want to play.
It could be interesting if you have like tags that you don't want to see, like if you know what I mean, like you change your filter or whatever to see stuff on the discovery, on the play. I can't think of what is it called, dashboard. I don't know, and like you have keywords that you like say I don't want to see anything meme, I don't want to see anything Shrek, I don't want to see anything Mario, I don't want to see anything SpongeBob. That'd be pretty nice. That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be a gift. That'd be such a gift.
Yeah, I mean,
it really would.
just things are coming. Things are coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know things.
So
He knows things.
no things. So, look, I think we've reached the end. I think we're ready to hand off all these lovely people to someone else within the Dreamiverse. And does anybody? Should we go ahead and throw to Piece of Craft?
Oh yeah, why not?
Because he's building a kart racer game now off to the
nice.
side. So I think that
He's
would
all
be
working on.
pretty...
It's like he's working on something new every week.
It is like that, isn't it? But as with everybody, you need everybody needs to take a break sometimes from their huge projects. Like I've been telling people, don't let yourself burn out. Just take a break sometimes. Sometimes creating can become a curse. So give yourself the time.
After releasing Vestige, I didn't play Dreams for 2 months.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been amazing.
yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And anytime you want to come back to talk to us, just let us know. We'll put it back in the rotation. Love to have more conversations with stuff you're working on because we're going to be keeping an eye on it.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next Friday at 3 p.m. EST, which is 8 p.m. BST?
GMT.
GMT. There we go. And so, yeah, love you all. Thanks for joining. And
see you next week.
Go ahead and get it out.
Bye.
Bye.